We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
howdy.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun.
Today, Jill and I talk about how your land business compares to other types of small businesses. And believe me, it's almost all good news, especially the way we have it set up now, with the Land Academy membership group and funding and all of that stuff. So I'll go through the list here in a minute.
Cool.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free. We have, Jill and I started quite some time ago, several years ago, a full-blown commercial printing company to help you get your offers to owners. In fact, that's what it's called. Offers, the number 2 owners.com. We send out between 600,000 and 1 million offers on behalf of members and non-members.
Every month.
Every single month.
Yeah.
Check it out. Offers, the number 2 owners.com.
Cool. Now, back to the question, which is coming on the teleprompter. Charlie responds. Okay, so this is a response to something
Charlie
else?
Can't believe everything you read on the teleprompter.
Oh, okay, got it.
Charlie's got a question.
Okay, Charlie wrote this question. Anybody ever had an old communications tower on their land? I'm looking at one that has a tower. It appears to be in good shape, but is not currently being used. How would you go about advertising that you have spots for lease on your tower? Or maybe that's not how it works at all.
So when people are new in this business, they have, and it's because of we picked up all of these real estate habits our whole lives, and then all of a sudden we're a Land Academy member buying and selling land, and we can't help it but to apply all this stuff that we've picked up along the way.
Right.
This, in my opinion, is a massive attribute. And so many people think that they need to clear the land and make it presentable and change it somehow, or if there's structures on it or an antenna, that it's bad. The fact is, and everybody piped in on Discord about this, this is a ham radio operator's dream. And I would try to market this property to them. A lot of years ago, Jill and I accidentally bought a property because we didn't have all the tools that are available to us now, like Google Earth, that was on the side of a mountain. It was literally and some rock climbers bought it so that they could rock climb on their own land.
That's one of the things I always say, I want to stress is whatever the property positive, I try to turn everything into a positive. You just have to accurately convey what's really going on in the property. Whether it's a serious slope or no slope at all. It's flat, grassy, perfect for fill in the blank, or own your own rock climbing cliff, kind of thing. Whatever it is, do it. Don't advertise it as, oh, you can build anywhere when it's a rock climbing cliff, because you can't build on the side of that. You know what I mean? Unless you hang one of those tents on the side, but we're not even going to go there. But you need to, because if you don't properly convey what it is, you're going to have a refund on your hands or unhappy buyers kind of thing. But this is a good example. It's a positive for somebody. Every little thing is a positive for somebody. Even a falling down, it's funny, we talk about this often, like a falling down mobile home. That's a positive.
Absolutely.
For people. People often see that as an eyesore, especially the sellers. They're like, who's going to want this? But you know what? Somebody would love to come in and maybe fix it up, or maybe move it and put something beautiful there, because guess what? It's got the utilities already figured out. There's something positive there.
So I want to stress this, though. This antenna is not making this property more valuable.
True.
It's still the same old Land Academy model. You buy for 20 or 30% of what the property's worth, sell it for 60 or 70% of what it's worth.
That's just a bonus.
So what it is it's allowing you to very, in a micro way, seek out specialized potential buyers or a real estate agent. You can direct your real estate agent as on the sell side to do that. So it doesn't, there's always people in our group who are like, hey, I bought this property. It's got a bunch of old cars on it and an old house, and we're in the process of removing everything. And I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
That's many people.
That's their dream. Leave it alone.
People see, they don't see that junk. What they see is, oh my gosh, this is why this property's so cheap. I should buy it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll keep the cars. Maybe I'll sell the cars. Maybe I'll go in there and clean it up. But it's causing me to get a great deal. That's what the buyer's thinking in their head.
That's true. That's true.
Congratulations on the antenna. I think it's cool. I hope you send us a picture. Today's topic, how your land business compares to other small businesses. This is why you're listening. In old school accounting, we would value and look at businesses based on fixed costs and variable costs. So in a land business, it's almost all variable costs, which is what you want. And here's why. Think about a manufacturing plant. You need a building, you need a bunch of machines, you need people to work there to work those machines. This is all before you ever generate a dollar. So you got to plow in all this time and energy and money and capital resources to get that first part out. Mm-hmm. It's very expensive. Those are all fixed costs. Those people are going to work every day for the most part. You're paying rent, or you're owning the building, or you're incurring those costs of property ownership in that business, whether you make any money or not. Those are fixed costs. We don't like that. We like variable costs. So as a land investor, all of our costs are variable, every single one, with the exception of tiny little expenses like you need to get a new phone number. You need to have a mailbox, a place where the offers get sent back. And so all the other costs are variable. If you don't buy and sell any land, you don't incur any costs. In fact, I would argue maybe you could get your costs down to $100 a month, maybe less, in this entire business. You send out 20, 30,000 mailers. Now you got properties coming in. You got the cost of the mailer. Maybe you're paying Pat Live, maybe you're answering your own phone. So those are all variable costs. And so when it gets expensive, and we've addressed this, is when you start buying real estate. If you don't have any money, but you're a pretty bright person and you understand, you have figured out, because of the education in our community, you've figured out how to source great real estate deals. We have a massive community with their checkbook open. Mm-hmm. So you could make, this whole topic started because Jill did a live Facebook/YouTube presentation last week, and there was a guy who happened to be in the audience, in the viewer listening audience, who we've known for a really long time. His name's Mike, and he was answering questions along with us, which I think is great. And we've done a lot of real estate deals with him. Jill knows him really well. We've seen him at auctions. It was a long time ago, and I'm glad he's still in business and doing well. And somebody asked, how much does this really cost to start? And he said, I started years ago with $500. Mm-hmm. So no other place, and maybe this should have been the title, no other place that I know of can you start with $500 or $1,000 and become a multimillionaire inside of just a couple of years or a few years, depending on
I'm going to be realistic, though. Nowadays, like, if you really want to do it right, so what this person was talking about, he said, I started with $500 and it took me a couple of years to get it going. It took me $500 and I did it. I learned myself. It took a couple years. So to which I say, you could do it with a little more money, get education, and do it in a couple weeks. Weeks less months to learn this and be on your way.
Yeah.
And really, realistically, this is the Land Academy. This is if you're in Land Academy, you probably had 5 or 10 grand put aside to start something, and you came to us, and here you are. And now you're probably happily making $500,000 a year. That's a good probable average, I'd say, in our group.
And so comparing a land business to, let's say, a manufacturing facility is kind of a stretch. It's really an academic comparison for fixed and variable costs.
Right.
But let's compare a couple other types of businesses that are a lot more realistic, and you might be saying, hey, should I be a day trader or should I buy and sell land?
Well, not just even opening a pizza joint.
To which I say, on the day trader situation, you might as well become a professional gambler, because it's about the same. There's just so much risk. I don't believe that there's any risk here. The only risk is that you don't buy as much property as you thought based on how many mailers you sent out. And you know what? That happens.
So you send more mail.
Yeah. So you send more mail. Or you try a new place to send mail. or whatever. So, and if you buy, you have an entire community where you can bounce off the idea, should I be doing this deal? And if 16 people in Discord say, no, I would not do this deal, or, yeah, I love the deal, but you need to get it for a lot cheaper, that's priceless. That's priceless advice. It's stopping you from failing and losing a lot of money.
I just like to take a step back and look at where can you come to something with 5 or 10 grand and really have a career. It's really hard. Like, I remember a long time ago, this is like in a past life, I was looking out with my dad and my brother, not kidding, a long time ago, like buying a couple of ice cream places. They were established, there were 3 of them. And I remember comparing that to and back then, like, I don't know if it was Panera or who it is now, but there was a neat kind of a salad kind of thing where you could, they were all franchised, but they wanted you to have, it was like $500,000 was the startup costs, coming into it. I'm like, jeez, for the lead, even though they have it all figured out, it's a franchise. Everything's, spelled out for you and they build it out for you. So much money. I can't think of anything. We even did it with a little pizza joint. I'm here to tell you, you can't even start your own sweet one operation pizza establishment with that little bit of money. That barely gets your lease going. So fill in the blank. You could afford your lease and some pizza boxes. That's about it.
So let's say it costs $100,000 to buy a place or start it on your own, and then the day you open for business, now let's say everything's great and you're making a
couple $100,
$200 or $300 a day.
Yeah.
How long does it take to recoup that money you outlaid?
Exactly.
Nothing like that happens in this business.
Right.
You buy property for $5,000 or $8,000, or you get us to fund it. Now it costs you $0. It makes 10 grand. You get $5,000. Yeah. You get $5,000 and you just keep going. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's immediately profitable if you know how to manipulate the mail and locate great real estate deals. Mm-hmm. That's all this is.
Which is why we're here.
Yeah.
And happy you could join us today. 5 days a week, you can find us here on the Land Academy Show.
So now the episode on the Land Academy Show is called, we actually review about 20 properties for every 1 or 2 properties that we buy. Why? And I'll talk about it tomorrow, but we not only now like to reduce our risk, Jill likes to eliminate it. Mm-hmm. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Thank you. Yep, I'm picky. I'm picky, and I've gotten pickier. And we're going to talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, what we found is I would rather send out twice as much mail and incur the cost of doing that, and do half the number of real estate deals by eliminating our risk. So we really, really are choosy about what we buy. Exactly.
Hey, by the way, as this airs, this is Tuesday, August 30th. 2 days left. By the way, I just want to let you know the biggest savings that we have offered so far this year is happening right now, and tomorrow's the last day. August 31st is when it ends. So what am I talking about? Go to landacademy.com and check it out. I have a great promotion going on right now to get you in. It's like almost cut in half, not kidding.
It's the cheapest it's ever been this year.
And to make it even awesome, everybody who joins between now and the end of August gets into a drawing for a free 10-acre property in Oklahoma. It's awesome. Check it out. We are Jack and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you found our content valuable, and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.